Hi everyone, welcome to Macbet review for Doomben on Saturday. Track played good, good form, the whole day. A couple of times a few horses sat a little bit wide and raced better than we would expect, sitting wide. But all in all, I think the fence was okay and was very much pace related on most of these races where they came from. The first race, Tony May, we were sort of sitting on the fence with Tony May. We thought it was a really good. It's a good horse. It's short and right up in the market. Um, it was going from a mile to 2200, and that's something that I hate. And we suggested that, and it loomed to win, and it got about a length in front, and it just peaked on its run and got run down. Now it'll be fitter next time. It'll probably be ridden a little bit quieter next time because Byrne was a victim of circumstances. He sort of gave it a small dig out of the barriers and was sitting fifth, three wide, and then he was going to be there posted if he didn't do anything. So he pushed on and had to sit up second, two wide. The pace wasn't too bad, but he just had to do a little bit of work in that initial stages, especially going from the mile to 2200, which beat him. Speed Gonzalez, same sort of thing, mile to 2200 problem. Came out in the corner, looked the winner, and just died in its run, but next time it'll be improved. Spirit of Kiwa had a perfect run behind him and just the right horse in the right spot, I suppose. Race two was won by Bowl Kingston. Just had the perfect run. We were just again not against capital gain, but because I love the horse. But the way the race is going to be run and coming back in distance um, doesn't just musters speed, doesn't actually jump real quick, was always going to find itself in a lot of trouble. Snitz we thought was the one to beat, got into the right position, was there to win, and Bowl Kingston was just too good for it. Uh, Following horses out of the race, just back capital gain next time. 1400 Eagle Farm, just load up. In race three, it's won by Mamselle on Fleur. We didn't know what to think about this horse. It was coming off a heavy track 10 win and going on to the dry, so we just had no idea. Um, Sat midfield, came out, sectionals were poor, and just did what it had to do. Make My Luck probably would have run third if it would have got the run, but if it would have run third, you would have said that, geez, it was quite disappointing. But now that it's got beaten 4 or 5 lengths, everyone's sort of saying, oh, geez, it was very unlucky. Now, as I said, if it would have got beaten a length, you would have been saying sectionals poor, um, got there, and just didn't go on with it. And especially at the $2.50, $2.60, it was a bit ridiculous. Um, what else went on there? Friends had a nice run. Mikas, very disappointing. We were on it. It's that second too wide. You would have wanted to double your bet in the run. And on the corner, it was gone. And then it started to kick. But I didn't like that. I don't know whether it was a second up caper or not, but it was disappointing. Race four was won by Tumbler. Just cracker of a horse. Ran the sectionals to get over the top of these horses. They weren't much good, admittedly, but it just keeps on raising the bar, this horse, so it'll keep on winning. Mr. Fabulous, disappointing. We thought it would run into the place at big odds. It was well backed. It ran fourth, but not good enough. Lady Jet Setter, just a bit of a gunner. Horse that went quite good was Crooked Blaze. Hit the line okay late, and he just didn't knock it around, Lloyd. So it's one to follow, especially when it was back in distance on Saturday. And even Danger Close, the horse from Melbourne, didn't go too bad. It went quite nicely, and it'll win a couple of races in Queensland. Race 5 was won by Deep Image. Gave it a chance here. We were against the two favourites at the odds, Candika and Our BB, especially Our BB. Our BB was it looks maybe as if it's looking for a little bit more ground. Last sectional wasn't too bad, and it was just grinding to the line late. It was gone as they straightened, and then it started to make some ground late, but it might have been just passing bad horses. Candika, cracker of a run. We had it back last in the map from the wide gate, and that's why we were against it. And he jumped well. He had nowhere else to go but just keep pulling it back. and got to midfield back, and made nice ground down the straight. Just going really good, that horse. Deep Image had every hope up running second. As we said, we had it a chance. Order again on the corner. I thought it had a nice chance before the race, and on the corner I didn't want to get rid of my ticket. That's for sure. He went to him and then he died in his run, so he'll improve. Race 6 was won by Kylie's Fame. Surprise winner for us. He was there and just kept on batting away. Sectionals were just a little bit below average. So I don't think this race is anything to write home about. Maribel, he just made the wrong move, James Orman. He come out of the gates and let horses go around. Just a problem with young jockeys that they do not want to go forward in the first 100 metres for some reason, or some of them don't. And that's just one thing that they should do all the time. Go forward in the first 100 metres. Doesn't matter if you don't need to scrub, but you just got to go forward. Why give away start? Muntz was a perfect example of that when he was riding. So in this race, I thought Maribel went okay. Bit disappointing, but it was a pretty ordinary ride for mine. Elsia, number 7, was disappointing. And that's about all in that race. In race 7, Siegfried, just always going to get the perfect run. It shortened up into a price that was under what we had it. In the morning, I think it was around $4, $4.20, and we were happy to be on it. But getting into the 270 or 280 at the finish, that was really rock bottom for us. But just always going to get the perfect run and just there at the right time. These horses are nothing out of the box. I was very scared of Steel Zip on the corner. I just said, oh no, because we were on it the other day. It tracked up behind him and then it just dogged it. Sir Moments went quite well. It ran on well. Lucky Tom, you could forget its run. It was wide and he eased it down, but I just don't know about Lucky Tom. Emphasis went okay. It had no luck in the straight. Fiery Heights, got no idea where the money come from, why the money come for it. Around the $4, $3.80 mark. It's just a real gunner. In the last race, Ruling Force did a good job. He's funny horse, this one. Last preparation, he was hitting on our figures around the 94, 95 mark, and throughout this preparation, he was in the low 80s, and he just seemed to like he hadn't come back. Then the last couple of starts, he started to get into the 90s, and he's improved every time. The last 2 or 3 runs, so good win. Fought on well. Sectionals were good early, and he's fought on well. So good job. Dance of Heroes improved out of sight, but again, $3, $3.20. It was always going to get the right run, but God, that was short. Comachina ran on not too bad. Deconstructed was short enough at the $6, $6.50 for us. We had something on Red Letter Day. It ran on into 4th. We thought it had a little hope at one stage halfway down the straight. Slidini is a wet tracker, and Old Smoky was very disappointing. So all in all, the 2 horses to follow are in race 2, the 2-year-old Capital Gain, and I want to be on Candika as well next time. I thought it went good, but Capital Gain for sure.